That's what I'm saying. Before, and then let's seal in and more of us. Is it recording yet?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
recording.
hey, what's going on, everybody? We're here back again at the King's Podcast, and today's topic is going to be about our barber journey. As we start, here we got our team again. My man, Dr. J, you know, the alienated barber alien right here. And, you know, here me, you need the unicorn. You know, always doing things different.
Yes, sir.
But so I mean, Jay, what motivated you to get into this industry?
Well, without getting too crazy with it, I was in high school and my teacher gave me some clippers, and that's when it started. That's when it started. That, you know, if you want me to go in more.
Yeah, go deep.
Yeah, I mean,
I
cause
was,
the thing is,
so I was in the streets.
So
I was in the streets.
Yeah, because the thing
And
it helps somebody.
My teacher found me. I dropped some rocks or whatever, right? And she picked it up and said, "What is this?" You know, all after school special type time. And she brought them off of me.
She bought them off of you?
Yes, she brought them off of me. But unlike what you think happened, she flushed it down. She gave me the money for them and flushed them down a toilet. And then she brought me some clippers.
Oh, dope.
And then that's when I started cutting hair. I started with the people in my classroom, and then worked up to straight hair people.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting. That's cool. And it's funny how that story is.
Shout out to Miss Debbie. Shout out to Miss Debbie.
Miss Debbie,
Shout out
thank
to
you,
Miss Debbie.
thank you, because you got a good guy
Changed
right
his
here.
life. You
Yeah,
changed
you
his
did,
life.
you did, you did. He could have been robbing me right now, but instead he's working with me. I appreciate that. You know.
I wasn't around still.
I mean, he would have been selling me some stuff that would have had my life messed up, but he's not doing that anymore. So I thank you, Miss Debbie. Thank you, Miss Debbie. You know, but nah, that's what's up. Though. I mean, how about you? Hey, how your life got impacted by it?
So my story started when, first of all, I've never been into a barbershop until I became a barber. Never got my hair cut
I can
by
tell.
a barber.
tell.
But so my story was like my mom and my step-pops at the time used to cut my hair, and I didn't like the way they cut it. So at 13, I decided to pick up the clippers myself and started to cut my own hair. My mom had the three-way mirrors, so I would angle them and be able to look and shape myself up, boom, boom. And then I started to cut my friends in high school. After that, I never took it serious after high school. I was working jobs, was, you know, doing my thing, partying, all that stuff. And then one day, I remember telling myself that if I wasn't where I wanted to be at a certain point in my life, that I would go to a barber school and become a barber. And, you know, I ended up quitting my one job, DoorDash and Uber for a few months. I knew some guys that was in barber school, and I was like, you know what? Let me go try it out. Let me get into barber school. So I got into barber school. I loved it so much, they ended up kicking me out for 2 days because I was there too much. I was over my overtime, and you know, by the time I graduated, the owner of the barber school I went to, he wanted me to come back to actually teach. So, you know, barbering for me is it wasn't about the money. It was more about my freedom to be able to, you know, live my life and not be controlled by corporations and stuff like that. And the fact that I get paid every day whenever a client sits in my chair, that's a blessing for me. So that's kind of my barber journey, and I love it every day. You know what I mean? I don't mind cutting hair for the rest of my life, even though I wouldn't want to cut it for the rest of my life. But if that was like, if I had nothing else to do, I wouldn't mind being a barber.
Okay.
You know, the barber life it's a very impactful life. It's a very inspiring life. I've learned a lot working with this guy here. So
You got a lot of controllers. You know how many babies I helped make just by cutting somebody's hair nice? That power.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is true. I mean, I would definitely go in deep about mine. Mine's a long story, but I'm going to keep it
Let's
short.
start in PA.
go
Let's
ahead.
start in
Thank
PA.
you. See, the thing about
Let's
PA.
start in
All right, so listen, you're right. My beginning, you got two beginning barber stories right here, so cool. Let me just tell you about how I didn't start in PA.
But I'm just.
In PA, it was beautiful because being from New York and not being able to reach my goals living in New York. When the towers fell, I had to leave. I had to leave New York. So they fell in September. I was living out here by December, and it was funny because I first started working, and this is the reason why a King's Experience is what it is. And during the time that I owned All Stars for those 14, 15 years, it was what it was. And what that was something classy, respectable, fancy for the customers. Because at the end of the day, the way I see it is, there's too many of us that work too hard. We struggle and we do what we got to do to keep our families happy. And at the end of the day, nobody appreciates us. We got to go to an establishment where either the people are high, they're drunk, they're arguing with each other, there's tension in the place. I got tired of seeing that. I got tired of working in environments like that. So because of that, I was like, let me create a place where people can just go and be peaceful and be at ease, and stress is left outside of the door. You know, and not only that, respectable. Like when I first moved out here in PA, I worked at a place called Double Platinum on 9th and Windsor. Oh man, that was a place. I was there. Listen, I was there for 2 years and experienced 5 shootouts.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 shootouts, many fights. Owners, like 3 owners got locked up, and new owners had to take over in 2-year process. You know, and I'm like, wow. And then I started realizing that's when I learned that unfortunately, barbering for the most part was a cover-up. Most of the barbershops are drug dealers covering up what they got going on. And that's when I realized, I was like, damn, like. I was thinking about making a career out of this, but I felt bad about it. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, F that. I'm gonna change the game. That's why I'm gonna need a unicorn, because I'm gonna do things different. So here, listen, my team. There's no tension between none of my guys in my team, because we learn to love each other. We brothers. We all have the same goal. We trying to make something of ourselves. We trying to become something, and we're using barbering as a way of opening those doors. You know, God was great. I managed to have that place for 15 years. My staff stood by my side 15 years. That means I was doing something right. This location here, we're now 3 years in, and I still got the same team, and nobody is left, because I'm doing what I can to keep my team happy. That's how it starts off. The owner has to keep the team happy, so the team keeps the customers happy. And it's working out beautifully. And I really appreciate these guys.
Like you said, you know, it's like we're like a family here. You know, it's like we're all brothers, and our clients are like our cousins. You know what I'm saying? So you walk through that door, it feels like family. You know what I mean? Hey, cousin, we ain't seen you in a while. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The only thing is, we don't really be having too much cookouts, but you know.
But we do every now and then.
We do every now and
we
then.
throw the grill in the back sometimes. You catch it at the right time. Like if we're open on the Labor Day, if we're open on Memorial Day, you might smell some burgers and some hot dogs, and you might get some free food on them days that we happen to be open them days.
Bring a tray, bring a plate.
Yeah, you just call it. Yo, you guys are open. Listen, I got a tray of salad. Say no more. I'm gonna throw something on the grill for you. You know.
Boom.
I mean, Jay's a cook. He a beast at it. On the grill, that is. I don't know how he is in the kitchen, but
yeah, last time he ain't save me no chicken, but you know, we ain't gonna even talk about that one.
You ate it that fast? You didn't realize?
No, I wasn't. I don't think I was. I think I pulled up late. I think I pulled up late.
This dude threw some Uncle Ben's on the grill too. I don't know how he managed to pull that one off. He did something in the microwave and then threw some on the. He did some magic stuff. This dude. Yeah. Nah, but the reality of it all is, like, for example, I appreciate barbering, because barbering pulled me away from what I could have been. You know, just like it did for him. And I don't know what other influences he had in his life could possibly steer him in a different direction. But barbering gave me somewhere to channel. One thing I appreciate about those guys out there mentoring to young drug dealers is they're mentoring to them, listen, the skills that you have to do all that negative stuff on the streets, you could actually implant those skills in something professional and legal, and you could get the same benefits without having to look over your shoulders with the police and whatnot.
See, that's what I like about barbering, because you know I used to be in the streets myself, and you know it's not somewhere that I wanted to even stay, but like the fact that like I make the type of money here that I can make out there is like, you know, I'm getting in a better legal way, and I'm building a network, you know, with my clientele. I'm learning from my clients. I'm building relationships. You know what I mean? I'm not just hey, you, yeah. I'm not. I don't,
and that's
that's
thing,
not something that
network.
I want to. I've ever wanted to continue do. It's kind of like, you know, I was in a situation that had some people that helped me get out of it and to get into a job, and then you know from there, you know, I stayed there for 3 years, and I was like, this isn't what I wanted. You know, I hate waking up and being on somebody else's time and having to eat when being told, and you know, it's kind of like prison in a way.
Yeah, wasn't it relieving though that you like, yeah, I quit this job, I got these clippers.
yeah.
I don't need you, I got these clippers.
And that beautiful thing right there is the fact that, dude, once you have this talent, somebody could just pick you up from here, drop you off anywhere in the world. As long as you got them clippers in your hand, you can become something.
As long as you got your hands and your eyeballs,
yep.
You know what I'm saying, you can cut anywhere in the world.
And me, I'm a blind barber, so you know, I'll make it happen.
That's
What I mean by that is, I've been doing this for so long that my vision is only good for cutting
So
hair.
then, so another question: what is something that you love most about barbering, and something that you hate about barbering?
Jay?
What is one thing that you really love, and one thing that you don't?
I love the customers, and I hate the customers. Because
elaborate.
When they come in and they show me
You know
pictures,
you just stroke your clientele right now by saying that.
no, it's cool.
Y'all
They
can-
don't know.
y'all
They
come
already
out
know.
shit, it's all good.
When a client or a customer come in and they're pleased at the result and the satisfaction I get from knowing that they're pleased, that is the part that I love the most. But the time it takes to get there, from them showing me pictures of people that don't have the same head structure or hair type, translating from Spanish to English, or even the Indian from the Hindu stuff, and then
that look in the mirror,
that look in the mirror, I'm like,
they're giving you, they unsure, and you ain't doing this right. I'm like, dude, I haven't even started yet.
when you sit to all clients, when you sit in a chair, and barbers too, we can feel the energy. So if you're sitting there, barbers, you're sitting there, you're not confident in what you're doing,
It's obvious.
the joker's gonna be looking, when is he gonna mess me
You're
up?
gonna be looking in the mirror and telling you.
Yeah.
And vice versa, if you sitting down in the chair, let the guy or woman cut. Let them cut. And then complain later if you don't like it. Because you might be the reason that they messed their haircut up, because you sitting there talking too much, or you keep moving too much, you're like, yo, give them your interpretation or what you think you want, and he or she's gonna make it look like how they know it's supposed to be. Because a one guard with the grain is not for C type hair or 4C type hair.
I mean,
You need the guard. So if you just think you taper this, can you taper the front and fade the back? And
I always say this, like, get pictures always work best, because the problem that I'm seeing in the barber industry is too many clients are going to ignorant or new barbers that don't know the field as well as they should, and here they are trying to educate a client. Mind you, clients don't know the barber lingo, and you got a new barber trying to teach the lingo to somebody who doesn't know it, when the barber himself doesn't even understand it fully. Then I get a client in the chair asking me for stuff that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But me, luckily for me, I've been in the industry for almost 40 years. I'm able to understand by body language what they're trying to say. So I was like, oh, I got an idea what you want. Let me show you a picture. And I show them a picture, like, yeah, that's it. Mind you, they said everything completely opposite of that. But because I understood that their body language was not matching what was coming out of their mouth, I went ahead and deciphered it and showed them a picture. I always go off of pictures, be honest with you. It makes it that much easier.
Is this part of what you love and hate about?
So what I hate about, but I love it and I hate it. So there's one thing that I hate, but then I learned to love it, but it's annoying though. So I get a customer that sits in my chair, always asking, yo, let me get a mohawk on the top, a mullet in the back, a fade and a taper on the side. I'm like, but when they're not sitting in my chair, they go to my fellow barber's chair. Oh, just let me get it even all around. Let me just get a shape up. Let me just get a blowout. And then I ask them, yo, dude, are you serious? Why you always ask for the complicated stuff when you're in my chair? And their reply was,
because you're the man.
Because you're capable of doing it. And I hate that they had that good answer. I'm like, I'm gonna have to raise my prices.
Just on those clients.
Yeah, just on them. Yeah, not on everybody, just on them.
Okay.
How about you? What you hate?
That's
Like,
I was thinking about it. That's a uve.
What?
No, that's not okay.
No,
because you got the shag in the back, right?
The shag, yeah.
And you got the taper and then the fade.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. But the thing is, the person's asking for that stuff is usually a white guy.
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that they don't know that's a Puerto Rican uve. They're like, no, that's a mullet. They'll call it, that's a mullet. I'm like, I guess. You want to call it a mullet, call it what you want. Tomato.
Billy Bob Thornton never had that.
Billy Bob Thornton. Nah, but first, what I love about barbering, obviously the money, the clients, the lifestyle, the freedom.
You really love that because you say that a lot.
Yeah, freedom.
Yeah.
Listen, man, freedom is
days,
everything.
3 days,
If you ain't got your freedom, what you got? You know what I'm saying?
Change.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people can't say that because they're on a
I don't have
like we could take a week off the shop, come back, and we still got our spot. You know what I'm saying? So that's to me that's freedom. We could take a day off, 2 days off. You know, I mean, but the only thing is you're not getting no paid vacation or nothing like that. But
that's only downfall. But benefits, if you know how to organize, organize your stuff and stuff when it comes to insurance and benefits like that. Depending what barbershop you're working at, but if you work at a barbershop that's smart, that educates you and tells you how you can get your health insurance for free and how to pay minimum taxes and keep your business growing, then you're good. But if you don't have that, then you're screwed. But go ahead.
Yeah. So again, like a lot of people don't have that luxury. You know, you try to take certain days off, or you call off sick, or this, that, and the third. You know, you getting written up, you getting this, that, and the third. You getting potentially getting fired. You don't got that in the barber world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that. So for me, like again, freedom is a big thing for me because I want to be able to also live my life while I work and be able to do if some emergency comes up. I want to be able to know, like, yo, listen, like, I got this going on, I can't come in. All right, cool, listen, go handle your business, come back, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you 2 or 3 days from now. It ain't nothing, you know what I mean? The only thing is, like I said, it sucks that you don't get paid for those things, but it's not the money for me, it's about our freedom. What I hate is... What I hate about barbering.
The fact that you don't get paid when you take your time off.
I guess that'll be it. I guess that'll be it. Yeah. That's really like the only thing. Like I said, like to me, from working so many places and like just my experience with, with going through life and jobs and stuff like that. Like barbering has really like changed my perspective on like, working, especially working for myself. You know what I mean? Like, I could be like a lazy person and be like, listen, man, I'm taking like I don't feel like working today or tomorrow or the next day or the next day or next day, but then I don't make any money. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it's like I gotta put in my time and my work to be able to make what I want to make. Another thing I hate is slow days. I hate slow days. I'd rather cut every day back to back. And because like I said, I love the clients and I love making money. That's that's just the thing. Who don't love making money? If you can determine how much money you make, like if you can cut for 24 hours, I'm just saying, not saying that you would do it, but if you can cut for 24 hours and be booked back to back, make like $1,000 a day, every day, 7 days a week, wouldn't you want to do that? You know what I'm saying? So to me is, what I hate is I hate slow days. I hate, taking time off, not getting paid, but that's okay with me. It's, I'd rather work for myself than to work for a corporation and say, hey, let me take 2-3 vacation days or whatever and get paid for those, whatever. And, still have to be like, all right, well, make sure when you're done with those 3 days, you're back in the shop or you're back at work or whatever. I don't, that's the only thing I would say that I hate about barbering is, slow days. But other than that, there's not really much that I can say that I hate. Like, I love the people I work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny here. It's hilarious. I will come to work, every day. But, you get tired.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You get tired. You need that little
recharge,
break.
Recharge, yeah.
But I love my brothers. I love my sis. You know what I'm saying? And I love my clients. I love the lifestyle. I love everything. I love a lot about barbering.
And
so
the pros always outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with me, like, that's why, like, it's very important for me to make sure I mold the environment around us so my team can feel as good as he feels right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jay, you got, what has impacted your life the most about barbering? Don't say Home Depot.
No.
Don't say Caleb, okay.
No, yeah, exactly. You and Charlie.
Shout out to Charlie.
Yeah, you and Charlie got a special relationship going on.
Well, I don't know, but prior to coming to this shop, I was at 2 different shops owned by the same person, and I'm seeing my growth in the barbering as far as my skill and my professionality, and I'm seeing that the only reason I'm talking about the other shop, I'm not gonna name the shop, but is that when I was at this other shop, the atmosphere, the atmosphere, the quality of cuts wasn't of such to be charging a certain price. And since I moved on from that shop, I noticed that when you change your environment, you change the type of people you're around, that everything becomes better, or becomes different, and it's up to you to make it better. Because I could be in here and fizzle out. So for me being
I said like you've seen people do.
yeah, but the whole thing is I really enjoy cutting hair. Like, some people just like it because it's like the newest coat, or the newest
thing.
This is something that I'm trying to be the best, period. Like, so wherever you say, like, say like we was talking about Charlie, he's very good. I'm at his neck, like we battle rappers. Like, we battle rappers. You know what I mean? And I'm not, just if you think you're the top barber, just know I'm coming. I'm coming.
Because the thing is, he's listening to this stuff with the translator on. Because the last time he listened to the podcast, he was like, "Yo, you guys were funny. I'm like, Ninja, do you understand anything?" But he
had the translator on.
Yeah, he had a translator. He saw the whole podcast with the translator on. So
he gonna one thing about Charlie, he gonna find a way.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, he definitely does. Because yeah, he came to work with not with the big language barrier, and he built his clientele. And all he knew how to say was $55.
No, he thought it was 55. He was just kept saying 25. Or $55 service.
Okay. And the funny thing is, like, when me and Charlie were working at the one shop, I ain't gonna name that name either, but when we were working at the shop we were working at, when he came, like, I saw right off the back, like, how talented he was. Like, right off the back. Like, I was watching his work and I was like, yo, this dude can cut. So then when I eventually came here, I told Charlie, I was like, look, man, like, I know a better opportunity for you, bro. Like, you don't, right here, you're gonna fall into something that you don't want to fall into. You know what I mean? And I know a spot that'll help you grow more than, that you've grown now. And, he took the time, he came, he saw, he liked what he saw, and
listen, he's happy and excited. His man bought a house 5 minutes down the block, and he bought
a home.
Congrats to him.
It's no more than 5 minutes.
Just don't hate.
10 minutes, but
depending on traffic.
I definitely saw the potential in Charlie. Like, as soon as I seen him cut, from his designs and everything like that, he's sharp.
He got 4 stop signs, 4 lights. I only got 1.
And you still take longer to get here.
Word. No, he's here all the time. He damn near sleeps here.
Live here.
Yeah, he sleep here. Yeah.
Book now.
Not later.
But but listen, barbering, like, for any new barbers out there, like he said earlier, it's all about the environment you put around you. Mm-hmm. It's like this. Most of us, unfortunately, come from a bad background, and the only way you're gonna really excel if you move that background, that negativity that you got going on in your life away from you. You working in that same negativity is not gonna help you, because you're just gonna be pushing that. You're gonna keep putting that foot past the threshold in the doorway, but never walking through the doorway.
That's
when you leave, when you walk away from that, you could actually walk through the doorway of opportunity and take advantage of everything that's waiting for you. Mm-hmm. So, and my thing is like this. Listen, I was born and raised in the hood. I don't want to die in it, and that's my thing. And I'm grateful to see my guys. They're originally from similar backgrounds, and everybody is pushing up to be in the suburbs and stuff.
Well, hold on. Well, technically, I'm suburban. I'm suburban. Pinky out.
One thing
I live down the street from the project.
One thing I'm gonna say, shout out to the shop that, even gave me the opportunity in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no hate, nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like I wasn't able to push through that threshold. You know what I'm saying? When I got to a certain point, when I wanted to push forward, I wasn't able to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing but love, but nothing
but love for who?
you know, the last shop I was at. I ain't gonna name no names.
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you.
Already know.
But
A
you
lot of people know,
gotta,
so
you gotta. For what I would say for new barbers, you gotta know like where you want to be with this. Like you can go so far with this. You could be a millionaire barber. You know what I'm saying? But if the owner is not gonna give you that chance to grow, you need to figure out what you're gonna do. Whether you lose clients behind it, you lose money behind it, you're gonna lose things behind it. But you gotta know where you want to go and how far you want to go. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I knew. I knew I wanted to take. I may not, you know, be a millionaire barber or nothing, but like I knew that I just wanted to be bigger than what I was, you know, coming up. And when I wasn't able to go through that threshold, I was like, well, you know what? Like, I respect you for giving me that my shot, my chance here, my start. But I gotta fly. You know what I mean? I gotta soar because I wanna do something bigger than what I'm doing now. And you know, this man gave me that opportunity, that chance, and I'm truly grateful for him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody asks me, hey, when you gonna open up your own shop? I'm not opening up my own shop. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool right here. I love being here with my guys. So,
and like I
you're expecting for a new shop with me in the future, you're probably not gonna see it. I mean, I may open up a school. You know, I'd rather teach younger barbers how to build and develop their skills and become a barber and stuff like that. But I'm not going to open up a shop and, you know, have other barbers under me. That's not something I want to do.
Give us a minute, we'll be right with you, boss. Give us a minute, we'll be right with you.
Yeah, I mean.
No, because it's gonna bing again. We don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Just have a seat. Get some water.
I mean, we can edit that out.
Yeah, so
I like that. It's authentic.
Our podcast is in the shop. It's on a Sunday. So long story short, this podcast that we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is these are the first couple of ones are gonna be rough draft. We're trying to figure out a perfect date to align with all of us, and at the same time, we're gonna start doing our podcast live. So once it's live like that, you guys can get interact and help us out and with all that.
We appreciate y'all for rocking.
Yes, please,
You know
stick with us.
When we go live, please jump in the comments. Please, you know, ask us some questions so we can answer. You know, so we can interact more with you guys and know what you want to hear from us as well.
Because once again, the podcast is mainly about men's issues, things that we face. Today we chose barbering because we had a short window to work it with, and at the same time, we want to make sure that people are informed about a little bit about the industry and what it's about, rather than you know, they just assume that it's such whatever glamorous. One thing, like to touch on what he was saying earlier, here he at least has a vision and has direction and know where he's heading. You know, like you say, he may not be a millionaire, but he knows the steps that he has to take to get there. And another thing is to those young upcoming barbers and whatnot is, don't get tricked by the lies and the facade that people post on social media that they are this and they are that. The people that are really making it are too busy to post it.
Right.
Because they're grinding, they putting in the work. They're gonna showcase it later on when they get there. You know, limited, like, you know, a small amount, and they're gonna show you a little bit of the struggle between there. But somebody that you see doing all this stuff, and then you get close up and you realize it's
like,
not all that anything.
You know how long you probably gotta take somebody to stay recording, clip. You know, like that probably takes a minute. You probably have to sit there for 2 hours with a client doing a fade.
Not with the Ray-Bans. With the Ray-Bans, you can hit the
but
button.
you can only record so much with the Ray-Bans, though. But even to branch off that topic,
The facade.
The facade. Like I don't even post much. Most of my clients come from word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of clients don't like cameras in their face all the time. So you got to know your demographic on, you know, who you're cutting and what you're. You'll probably be able to get away more with like the younger crowd with doing that. You know what I mean? But I feel like I have a lot more older crowd with my clientele, so I don't try to put cameras in their face all the time. I'd rather just cut you, let you see that the cut is good, and get that word of mouth, and you know, and have. You know, build clientele that way.
And to build the one,
I don't be on social media much.
I always say like this, for my team like this, you're not cutting that client's hair just to please that client. You're cutting that client's hair to please the world around him.
It's a walking billboard.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. So it's like, if the client, it's like this, the client's gonna like it, but now stand back and look at that thoroughly, because you want the world to like it. And that's how you build your clientele. Now, if you're worried about just that client liking it, you know what you're doing? You're actually trying to cover up whatever little mistakes that you have made just so he don't see it, but the rest of the world is gonna see it. And when the rest of the world see it, they'll be like, yo, you didn't catch this, son? And then before you know it, they're gonna expose you. So make it for the world to enjoy and watch. You won't get exposed, and at the end of the day, you just grow. You know, Jay. I mean, tell me.
Tell me something good.
Now, I mean, what can you tell the upcoming future in barbering that might help them out?
Be sure that you want to be a barber. You got to be sure, because if not, you're going to be discouraged for not having customers, for not making the amount of money you thought you was going to make. You have to really be invested in getting better. You know what you're weak at. You know what I mean? So you're working on your craft, taking educational courses if need be, and learning from watching. If you can't watch somebody and figure out how they're doing it, then I don't know. Then maybe you should go to school, another school that specializes in whatever it is that you're trying to do. But I find that the more you steal from people, the better you get.
There you go.
And you might take what you know. There's nothing wrong with that. If you see like the way someone does this,
Well, don't steal.
No,
if you like the way,
exactly. Steal skill. You can steal a skill technique. You can steal a
you,
technique.
you take this technique and you use it. You don't like it, then you leave it where it's at, or you could make it so it works for you. Or if it's because the whole point is what someone told me. You want to make the cut good, then fast. Not just fast and you keep messing people's hair until you get good.
Yeah.
No.
Perfect your technique.
And what you said at the beginning is, don't do it for the money, because money comes with whatever craft you choose to get good at. And then money is not the ultimate goal. If you think that money is the ultimate goal, you're screwing yourself up, because there's a lot more above money. When you learn what that is, which is financial freedom, and it is like my man calls it generational wealth. You know, when you reach for those goals right there, then you're ignoring money, because you know that money is just a tool to get to where you get to. If you're into barbering and you're doing it for the money, forget it. Just find something else to do.
You're gonna fail.
You're gonna fail because you're chasing that.
Yeah.
But then when you do it and you put your love into it, your love will pay you back.
Because let me tell you, man, there's a lot of slow days. There's a lot of slow days where you may not make $1. So, you know, you gotta be okay with that.
Yeah, before when my car broke down, right? I used to be on a pedal bike going from up here to Redden. Just on the possibility of someone coming to shop so I could cut their hair.
And sometimes ain't nobody show up.
Ain't nobody, yo, who you know doing that?
Right. And sometimes ain't nobody showing up.
You could do it like, and the people.
And he's talking about pedal bike, not electric
Yeah,
one,
not
not doing with 3 pedals and he rolls. No, he was pedaling. He was actually fatter than that when he came in.
No, yo, I was looking like Debo in the wintertime. Like, good thing it was downhill. Good thing it was downhill.
Oh, shit.
Yo, but that goes to show you the dedication that I had. And then the people that know me that seen me struggling with this, and then they see me come up with something that's like a baby. I got a baby car. The baby, that joint ain't even, what?
You scared? I thought you had a baby.
That
Yeah,
joint ain't
sure,
even,
like,
that
yeah,
joint
baby.
ain't, what? That joint ain't even 6 years old.
Yeah, Lil J,
Shit,
Mini J.
no, but all the ladies out there.
Said if you're looking for a little
Lil J.
You looking for somebody with a dedication to detail? You know what I mean? Yo, but real rap. The people that know me from when I was struggling and watch me struggle, and then they see me come through visiting now, and they wonder, where the heck am I? Where you go? Like, you know what I mean? What you do? Because definitely, that was extreme. You know what I mean? That was extreme. It was cold. It was rain. Like, you know what I mean? And I was still on that jump. I gotta wait out.
Yeah, but see, you did it for the hustle, and that's why I try to tell some folks. Like, I know this young man one time, he would ride his bicycle in the rain when his car broke down to meet a girl. And then shortly the girl, he found out with some other dude. But long story short,
What? Oh.
wait a minute. The point of it all is, you did it for the right reason. I'm telling the young boy, yo, listen,
You doing it for
if
the
it's
wrong
raining,
reason.
it's raining, leave it alone. Don't make us see how much of a simp you are. I mean, focus on your hustle. And you focus on your hustle.
She's supposed to Uber him there.
Yeah, exactly. But that didn't happen for him, unfortunately. So, you know, but the point of it all is, if you're going to put the work in for the right reason. You see, these are gentlemen right here, they put the work in for the right reason. The fact that he told me not to talk about what happened before I got to Pennsylvania, because a lot of work got put in for me to get here. And I thank God that I ended up here, because of that, I've gained the experience to build this, to be able to mentor and support my team and educate them and show them the things that they need to grow. Because in the barbering game, it's more than just cutting hair. There's a lot you need to know. Presentation, self-presentation, self-preservation. So, you know, and those are other topics we're gonna talk about on this podcast. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's about growth, and I would like to just thank you guys for joining us today. And
don't forget the book.
Yeah, don't forget the book and tune in.
Well,
I mean, right now.
With me, of course.
No, with me. With me.
You got
Listen,
your
you
freedom.
got-
Your freedom.
You heard what you
Your
said,
freedom.
clients.
Your freedom.
My freedom and my money. Yeah, man, we out.
Peace. All right. Tune in for the next one. Find us on King's Grooming YouTube. All right.